Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Nas. If you're a seasoned subscriber, then you know that I have been living in Spain for the past 3 months. And with living somewhere new, one of the major things you'll experience is culture shocks. So I figured I'd bring someone here to talk about the Canadian perspective, and then I'm gonna share the Spain perspective, Spain versus North America and the Caribbean. One of the very first things that I noticed when I moved to Spain was just how relaxed the culture is. Like, everybody there is so chill. One time I went to a restaurant, we had to get up and go for the waiter to get the bill. But then I later learned that it's a culture here, it's called sobremesa, which is the concept of like staying back for hours after you eat to like talk and chill. And I'm like, that's a big shock for me, because in Jamaica, you eat and you leave. In the US, you eat and you leave. How is it in Canada?
Same thing like the US, you eat and you leave. But sometimes I don't think they force you to leave. You normally get like an hour or so of after time. But after that, they want the table, because, you know, they have reservations and stuff, especially if it's busy. They want you to leave.
When I went to a cafe once, I told the lady, like, after I've like finished my meal, I was like, I'm not gonna leave yet, I'm gonna like stay and chill. And she was like, tranquila. She was like, it's okay, like relax. And I'm like, okay, thank you. So love that for you guys. I love that about the Spanish culture though. It's really nice. This was a huge shock for me, because I grew up in Jamaica where the school hours are 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. In Spain, schools finish in the evenings. It's 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. What is the school time in Canada?
My school started at 9, like 8:40.
At 9?
Yeah, 8:40, 9 a.m. And then it goes to 3:30.
That would mean that Canada and Spain kind of on the same wavelength with the hours.
They start too early. Like, I wouldn't. 8 o'clock is too early.
Too early?
I like Canada's school starting at 9. It's nice.
What they do here as well is, which is the reason why it ends so late, the lunchtime is too long. Lunchtime in Spain is an hour and a half, and we still have a half an hour break time.
That's wild.
How long is lunchtime in Canada?
My break was like 40 minutes, but it didn't even feel like 40 minutes.
Your entire school day, you only have a 40-minute break.
Only have 40 minutes.
Canada do better. So they had a 30-minute break and then an hour and a half, and you only get 40 minutes in the entire school day. That's insane. In Jamaica, you can't leave school during the school day. In Spain, during lunchtime, parents can actually come for their kids. You can go have lunch at home and then come back in time for the end of lunch. But in Jamaica, you're actually not allowed to leave the school campus for like safety reasons or whatever. You have to stay on school. You can't buy lunch outside of school campus or anything. But in Spain, you can go walk the town, or your parents come for you and you come back to school. That was interesting for me. How is it in Canada?
It's the same as Spain. That caught me off guard too when I went there, because I was used to staying in school. So when everybody was leaving school, I was like, wait, you can leave school? Which is crazy. So the first day of school, I went to Starbucks, and it was like a crazy
just randomly at Starbucks in the middle of the day.
Like, that was so crazy. In Canada, it's just like the school is in the open, on an open lot, and you go through whatever door you want to go through, and you walk.
And you get in trouble for leaving. Because in Jamaica, we do try to leave. Like, to buy lunch outside of school, but you can get a detention for leaving school campus. So they're very serious about that in Jamaica. This is another thing for me as well, and I'm giving you all these like school related culture shocks because I am teaching in Spain, but the teachers are on first name basis. Now for me, as a Jamaican growing up in school, we don't do that. You're Mrs. Jones, you're Mr. Brown, you're Miss Williams, because in Jamaica it's like a sign of like respect to like address them like, oh, Miss Jones. But here it's just like, oh, first name basis with everyone. I think it doesn't bother me, but it's just like, it was a shock for me. I don't know what it's like in Canada.
Canada, it's like 50-50. Some teachers are more traditional, while others are more modern in their approach. So
what's like the general?
General, it's last name, but it has been changing to first name for some.
So it's like more relaxed.
It's a lot more relaxed.
A shock for me was like being on like the metro, like the bus, and persons have their suitcases. Like, you would think, oh, you have a suitcase? Go call an Uber. No, we're taking the bus. and it's very common in Spain to take the metro with your suitcase, coming or going to the airports. And I was like, okay. Coming from Jamaica, where our public transport system could definitely be a lot better, I was very pleasantly surprised. And also, it's very reasonably priced. As someone who is under 26 years old, I only pay 8 euros per month for transport in Spain, and I can take the bus, the train, anything, and I can go all over Spain. I think that's amazing. I don't know how it's in Canada and how much it costs per month. What is it like?
So you can get a monthly pass. It's like $80. $80. 80 for a monthly pass.
Yeah, I'm very happy with my 8 euros per month.
Yeah, 8 euros is very low. But yeah.
The walking culture is, I mean, you're walking, people walk everywhere. I mean, in the US, in Jamaica, it's so common to just drive everywhere. Even if you're going 5 minutes away, you're gonna hop in a vehicle, you're going to drive. In Spain, everybody's like, there's literal foot traffic. Like, I'm overtaking people walking in like the high touristy areas. Like, there are literal areas in Spain that I avoid because I know it's going to be such high foot traffic. And it's great because the people there are really active and like sporty, and they care about exercise. Even in the winter, the park is filled with persons running. I don't know if it's a conscious decision when they're like building communities, but also the essential places that you have to go, at the supermarket or the pharmacy, are really close to like housing schemes, which encourages you to walk there. So I walk everywhere, and it's amazing because I'm getting my steps in every day.
In Canada, they're trying to promote walking more. But yes.
How so? Like, what are they doing?
What they do is they'll make like areas where they make it so that people can like cross the road for a longer time. Like, they make it painful for cars. So if you're trying to pass through
a place, increasing the walk paths?
They're increasing the walk paths, and they're making the walk path like timer longer. You know how when you're crossing the road and like you're walking, you know, and you have the timer telling you, oh, you only have 10 seconds to cross. Yeah. Like, they're making areas where it's walking, and then maybe they'll let cars through every now and then. So you can drive through them, but it's very painful. So cars naturally avoid that area, bringing more foot traffic to the area.
But that's good though. That's good. In terms of like encouraging people to be more active, that's good. From my observation, life in Spain, they work to live. They don't live to work. As somebody who has experienced living and working in the US, I think there is such a huge hustle bustle culture where you're working 2 jobs and sometimes even 3 jobs just to get by, and you're working morning till night, Sunday to Sunday. But in Spain, I think it's more of, we work and we live by our means. You live according to your means and you enjoy life. I think they enjoy, maybe it's a European thing too. So like on the weekends, it's very common for persons, like all the cafes are filled. They love to party in Spain. They love to go out in Spain. I think in Spain, and someone who is Spanish actually told me that in Spain, their culture is like, they don't think about, how much they're spending, because they know the next paycheck is coming. So once they get their paycheck, they're going to live, they're going to enjoy their life, knowing that the next paycheck is coming, instead of like worrying about it or trying to get a second job to like just live according to your means and like not really like worry. It's a very family-centered culture as well, and I love that, because I think in the US, that hustle bustle life, it's draining and it's not really healthy. So having the complete opposite of that, I think it's refreshing. How is it in Canada? Is it hustle bustle, or is it like?
I would say it's in between. It's not hustle bustle, but it's also not laid back and chill. A lot of people now are trying to get second jobs in Canada.
Really?
But it's still a lot more peaceful than the US. People are still a lot more laid back.
I think the US is in a category by themselves in that regard of like hustle bustle.
Definitely.
Low cost of living was a lovely shock for me in Spain. Of course, the downside to that is that generally low cost of living states or countries mean the wages are also pretty low. But I'm coming from Jamaica. In Jamaica, the cost of living is high and the wages are low. The math is not mathing. So for me in Spain, like my grocery bills, honestly, I'm not like dreading going to the supermarket. My grocery bills are all under like 80 euros and I'm getting a lot. You're getting a lot for your buck in Spain and I love that. Canada? Cost of living.
Cost of living is high and the wages seem high, but the cost of living is so much higher than your wages. I won't say your wages is low, but cost of living is just so much higher than your wages that it just...
So kind of like Jamaica.
Feels tough.
Low cost of living.
No, Jamaica
high cost of living.
High cost of living with low wages. Canada, you have the wage, but
still not enough.
You really don't get a lot of perks, you know, from just living there. Like Spain has, you know, you go to your farmer's market or whatever to buy stuff. Like in Canada, you have to get your stuff from the grocery stores for the most part, and they're pricing their goods very high. So you just suffer from a lack of alternatives is what Canadians suffer through.
Coming from Jamaica that has slow culture, in my head, I thought that Spain was going to be like the US, but just Spanish speaking. But the US in the sense of like being like first world and fast, and you go to the bank, you get stuff done in, you know, in one day. It took me so long just to get my bank account open in Spain, and getting like important documents like your residence card and everything. It takes so long in Spain. Getting appointments is a literal race. You're trying to beat everyone else who is refreshing, trying to get that appointment slot in Spain. If you're someone from like the US moving to Spain, that's gonna hit you hard. Either they're too slow or I'm too impatient. I don't know, but I think it's too slow. Canadian. I don't know. Are they slow? Are they
They're
fast?
not slow, but they definitely do respect that there's other people behind you. So they will never sit and have a conversation with you. Okay. However, they will not rush you. So you'll have all day to ask as many questions or to get your stuff sorted out.
And that just about wraps up our culture shocks. Would I still encourage you moving to Spain? Do I love it in Spain? Do I think it's a beautiful country and definitely worth a visit? 100%. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Comment down below what do you think about these different culture shocks? If these are things that would bother you or what it's like in your country. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. That's my way. Every single day.